Today, let us speak about principles and practices of management. Yes, this is an interesting topic in the context of organization and business environment. And I'm sure you are eager to understand and learn little more about these principles and practices of management. It was Henry Fayol who proposed these 14 principles and practices of management. He was a French industrialist with sufficient experiences in working and dealing with the employees in the context of business and organization. He is also renowned as a father of administrative management, and the principles that he proposed is even today it is regarded as universal principles as a guidelines for every management. Let us understand a little more about what are these 14 principles of management. Number 1, division of labor, and 2, authority and responsibility, 3, discipline, 4, unity of command, unity of direction, and subordination of individual interest to group interest, remuneration of employees, centralization and decentralization, scalar chain, order, equity, stability of tenure of personnel, initiative, and the last 14th principle is esprit de corps. That means union is strength. Let us look at it each principle one by one. Division of labor. Wherever there is a division of labor, there will be automatically expertise will be developed. Each task is divided on the basis of each one's expertise. That brings efficiency and proficiency in the labor. And as an outcome of practicing this principle, each employee become more accountable and responsible, and each person does the assigned task in his or her total capacity. Coming to the second principle, authority and responsibility. With the authority demands, wherever there is an authority, it requires a responsibility and accountability. And I'm sure we are aware authority lies in the hands of manager, and the subordinate is expected to be responsible and to follow his or her instruction from the manager. Coming to the third principle, it is called as discipline. Discipline means to work in an orderly manner, to work in a disciplined manner, and it shows obedience to authority. Discipline also comes, we can observe in terms of observance of the rules, regulations, procedures and methods. Discipline requires an efficient manager. Coming to the next principle, unity of command. In our day-to-day life, if we get too many commands from different personnel, we become very confused. In the same way, having to receive one command from one person is also very important for the successful management of the organization. So, in this context, an employee should receive one command from his immediate manager. Coming to the next principle is very interesting, unity of direction. We need to follow one goal, one objective. If we are confused, if we are perplexed with too many instructions, that will not enable us to accomplish our day-to-day goals and objectives. So, an efficient manager needs to have a skill and quality to guide and lead the employee in a one directed manner, wherein which the employee can achieve his or her responsibility as well as achieve his or her objectives. subordination of individual interest to group interest. All of us are unique individuals. It is true. However, while working as a committed employee, and every employee need to keep in mind that we need to overcome our own personal interest, personal decisions, personal lot of interest all of us will have, but ultimately at the end of the day, our entire purpose should be organizational interest, organizational goal achievement, for which at times we need to forego our personal interest, we need to also sacrifice. Coming to the next, remuneration of employees. Of course, all of us are very committed human beings. We need to give our best, 100% to the employees, to the organization in which we work. However, what motivates at the end of the day is all about wage rate, the salary. If the salary is very minimal, it will not motivate the employees to give his or her best. So there has to be a complete package depending upon the years of experience, depending upon the qualification. Employees need to be given a just wage salary. The next principle is centralization and decentralization. Wherever centralization type of organizational management is there, it will be in their hand, the entire decision making. Wherever there will be decentralized authority type of organization, there will be participation, inclusion. So there are two types, both have its advantage as well as disadvantages too. Wherever there is a centralized management, people will not have, especially the employees will not have an opportunity to give their response, opinion, yeah. And wherever there is too much of decentralization also, too much of flexibility also, things will not work either. So the manager has to be smart enough and efficient enough to understand where to strike the balance. Scalar chain. Scalar chain. Scalar chain refers to the route which the communication follow while flowing from one level to the ultimate authority. Coming to the next, order. Orderliness. It is also, as we have already spoke about previously, about the discipline. A working environment should be order in terms of material as well as human being. A right place for a person to sit, and in terms of placing the computer, maybe even placing a chair as well. It should be in its right place. All this will enable us to work systematically and also will give impression to a person who comes to the organization. It will give a positive and a very structured atmosphere. Coming to the next principle is equity. Equity has to be practiced. It should not be put on the wall, kept that gender equity is practiced. No, the human being, all of us do want to be respected, as well as equity in terms of gender, age, years of experience has to be respected. So gender equity, it is not the just one matter, but equity has to be experienced in terms of wage, in terms of many other life matters which takes place in the organization. Stability of tenure of personnel. People cannot experience the anxiety whether will they lose the job or not. No, that stability has to be maintained. So when there is no anxiety of not losing the job, people are able to give their best. And the second last is initiative. Employees need to be given sufficient time and opportunity to take initiatives in their work related matters. And the last principle is union is strength, esprit de corps, which means management should create team spirit among the employees. Team contribution is always better than individual contribution. To conclude, As we know, an individual cannot achieve anything single handed in an organization. Team efforts, direction, motivation, cooperation, coordination, and control are requirements in order to achieve the objectives. So, managerial efficiency is an essential requisite for human beings. Thank you.